Well, today we just received some really amazing news from Ubisoft. This never really happens, but it seems like they just dropped the huge ball game for Assassin's Creed Shadows, because now they've shared some really good information about Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay, which made a lot of fans reassured that Ubisoft is doing good with the new Assassin's Creed games. Because now this info actually gets reported from Access to Animus. Assassin's Creed Shadows will now be featuring something called as the canon mode, and this is going to be allowing for a choice-free narrative following the canon path in the game. Now, a lot of people are confused on what this basically means and how it's going to be working in a new Assassin's Creed game. Now, usually if you take, for example, if you played games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla or even Odyssey, the game basically gives you options where you choose to play as whatever character you like to play as. In Odyssey, you could play as either Cassandra or Alexios, and you basically never knew which character was the canon. And sometimes you kind of feel like, maybe you should have gone with the other character because the other character suits better with this particular mission or like the storyline. And since you want to play as this character, you're just basically limited to your own choice, whereas the storyline is not really supporting what this character's role basically means in the game. So apparently what Ubisoft has done this time is that they're brought in this new canon path, which the game will have an option. And what happens when you do this is that the game will automatically switch the characters based on whichever character is the canon to the particular mission and the storyline that you're playing. And honestly, if you're playing the game for the very first time and if you want to enjoy the game as it is meant to be done and how the story plot actually revolves around which character, despite of it being the fact that you don't like to play stealth, or maybe you want to play as Yasuke because you like more action, and sometimes you just choose Naoe because you like the parkours and stealth action and whatnot. But then I think there's always this tendency that just keeps making us feel that maybe we might have chosen the wrong option. Maybe we should have played as Yasuke in this particular mission. So that's the one thing that's getting completely eliminated, and now we will finally get a canon mode where the game is going to be choosing its own path, and it's going to switch between these characters based on which is the perfect character for the perfect mission and for the perfect storyline, as well as the game has been designed in the canon way. So does this mean that you will not be able to play as Naoe more or Yasuke more? I don't think that's going to be the case, because I think both the characters have different roles and different storylines. And some missions, it might particularly be designed for Yasuke, because since he's a black character, he's going to be liberating some slaves from Japan and whatnot. All those kind of missions, I think it's going to be way more meaningful and punchy when you play as Yasuke rather than playing it as Naoe. But then, since players like to play or like the play style of Naoe, we might end up choosing Naoe. So in that instance, it's going to be different. It's going to give you a different experience for the gameplay, but that's why Ubisoft is giving us an option. Of course, this is alternative option. You can definitely choose whatever you want to play as. It's not going to be limiting your own play style. It's up to players to choose whatever they want. But the good part is that if you are someone that wants to enjoy the game as it is, as far as what the canonical storyline goes, and you just don't want to feel the fuss of choosing which character to go for which mission. So if that is something you feel anxiety about, then I think this mode is for you guys. And honestly, I'm going to be using this mode for my very first playthrough, and maybe probably when I'm playing the game once again in New Game Plus, or maybe not New Game Plus, repeating the gameplay once again, because it seems like there are going to be multiple options in the game and hopefully different endings that we could choose from. And that kind of just gives us a more replayability options, and I want to see all the possible ways in which I could complete this game. But yeah, as far as what I can say, I'm going to be playing this game for the first time in the canon mode because I want to experience the game as it is and as it's designed as far as what the canon story tells. And apart from this, it seems like in Assassin's Creed Shadows, players will now be able to recruit specific characters to their league. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, you have something called as a league. It's apparently like the brotherhood or your own gang that you could build up, and you can recruit some of the characters from the open world. So it's probably like the old Assassin's Creed games where you rescue some of the guys who are probably even slaves, or maybe there could be some random ass missions in the open world where you rescue them from different types of scenarios, and then you could give them a place where they could stay, and in return they could work for you. So that's probably how you're going to be recruiting, and they can settle down in your settlement So apparently now you're going to have something called as choices, where you could choose one or two of them to assist in stealth and combat based on their abilities. Some are fighters and some are more like the shinobi types. So there are going to be different types of characters that you could recruit. I think the fighters, probably it's going to be Yasuke who's going to be training them. And then in terms of shinobi characters that you recruit, I think Naoe is going to be training them, because you have like a training place inside of your settlement. So it's something that you players build manually. So that is something I'm really excited about as well, because the base building stuff in this game is just absolutely amazing. So it seems like, yes, that's going to be a case here, and you're going to be able to recruit these characters. So as you can see behind, Naoe calls in for some of the shinobi characters, and both of them just spawn in here, and they're going to be assassinating both of these characters from behind. So that's basically how it works. It was also a feature that was present in previous Assassin's Creed games, and it's now going to be returning, and it's going to be much better and improvised in the new Assassin's Creed game. Some Yasuke related news for Assassin's Creed Shadows AMA from Reddit. One of the Yasuke specific activities will be learning new kata, which is a samurai training technique. Okay, so Yasuke's story will feature his arrival in Kyoto and him becoming a samurai. And Yasuke will also have 2 different weapon slots. Players can choose to melee and ranged weapons, or 2 melee weapons in once. So it seems like Yasuke is going to be having 2 different melee weapons. One is going to be the huge katana, and then you're going to have like a small dagger. Or you could even choose to replace the katana with like the heavy, huge thing that he just holds and just smashes people in the face. Some of the things that you've seen in gameplay, I think it's called the Dund. So those things are going to be available for Yasuke, but then for Naoe, we have a range of different weapons that we've already seen in some of the gameplays that Ubisoft has shown off. And apart from this, Ubisoft has also shared some wanted level system, and apparently the notoriety system in Assassin's Creed Shadows and how to deal with it. Now, causes are going to be the wanted system. Now, there are going to be different scenarios in which you're going to get caught, or if your character is going to be wanted. So one of the things are players getting caught in castles, enemies can ring a bell, and your notoriety system is going to go up. So either Naoe or Yasuke, whoever you're playing as, is going to be wanted in that particular location. So the bell will alert the castle, and it will quickly escalate the whole province. The consequences of having all of these things happen is now going to be the Guardian elite enemies are going to be spawning on the road and castles ready to attack the players. Well, apparently, if you're playing as one of these wanted characters, it could be either Naoe or Yasuke, like I said, you could be playing as any of the characters, and if your player is wanted, then these enemies are going to be spawning on the road, and they'll literally just take you down as soon as they spot you. Now, the wanted system will be active for like a whole season, and by season, they actually mean like the winter or summer or autumn or whatever it is. Like the whole entire season, you're going to be wanted. So as long as the season exists, you're going to be a wanted character. So you need to make sure that you're not doing some messed up stuff in the game and maintain your stealth as much as possible, because the wanted level in this game is going to be very punishing, since it's going to last for like an entire season. Now, I don't think there is any countermeasure to it, like removing some of the posters could like reduce your wanted levels or something like that. I don't think there is something like that in the game. So you basically need to wait it out for the entire season in order to completely get rid of the wanted level. And now all military archetypes on top of the Guardians will attack the protagonist that triggered the alarm. So how to deal with it? Now, wait for the season to end and play on high alert in that region. That is one of the options in which you could deal with the wanted system. Or you could also choose to explore other regions, which is basically not going to the region in which you're wanted, and switch to the other protagonist, or use scouts to remove the alerts. So, okay, so there is actually an option where you could remove the wanted system. It seems like you need to use your scouts in order to send them out and like remove the alert systems and whatnot. I don't know how that works. So, but yeah, basically there is an option, but then it seems like you need more recruits in order to get that stuff working. And we also have like brand new gameplay screenshots in here as well. One of the seasons, I think there's like the spring season, you have a lot of sakura trees and it's very cold looking atmosphere. It looks incredible. The game looks really nice, honestly. As you can see, Naoe has like different varieties of weapons that she could use compared to Yasuke. At the same time, like both the characters can have 3 different weapons equipped at the same time, so you can keep switching them and battling your ways out. So let me know down below in the comments, what do you guys honestly think about all the things that we have received so far about Assassin's Creed Shadows? Because as far as what I've seen, I am honestly super excited about this game. There's not going to be any discovery tour mode this time for Assassin's Creed Shadows, and it seems like there is a bizarre reason as to why that is, because as far as what Axis Animus is reported, it seems like Assassin's Creed Shadows will feature a database or codex which includes gameplay related entries, tutorials, and historical entries. Now, however, this means that that's going to be the reason why they're going to be completely removing like the discovery tour mode, where, you know, children and people who want to explore some of these historical stuff for educational purpose, they can't really do that. And if you want to do it, I think you basically have to play the game. And apart from that, there is no other way. So either ways, they're using the codex and all the database in order to give us like tutorials and gameplay related entries. So that's why they have completely removed it. Now, honestly, I have no idea how this works and whatnot. It's just very bizarre, and I don't even understand why that is. And they've even shared some more updates about the loot system in one of these gameplays. So we've already seen this in like the recent gameplay, right? Mostly the chests are particularly in the restricted zones on the most unique enemies. So you can basically find gears in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Mostly the gears are going to be present in like the chest, particularly in restricted zones. On the most unique enemies, the legendary gear in every castle found in a locked chest. Targets have the best gears and can also obtain as quest rewards or at merchants. So it's basically the same stuff as all the Assassin's Creed games. It just works the same way. But the only thing is, like, now you have like a different sort of eagle vision thing. I think it's really cool. Rather than just using like an eagle, like a bird thing, now you have to manually go in and look around your environment, and that's basically how you're going to be scouting around and finding out more information. It's going to be exciting. So I would honestly love to know your opinions down below in the comments. Leave your feedbacks. Let me know what do you guys think about the new updates that Assassin's Creed Shadows has revealed. So yeah, with that being said, if you guys did go on and enjoy this video, drop a like. It really helps a long way for my channel as well as for me as a creator. It helps this video a lot more than you guys think. So please just take a few seconds of your valuable time, drop a like, really means a lot to me. Subscribe if you guys want to stay updated with all the latest and the greatest information about all the gaming news, man, because that is what this channel is all about. So subscribe, it's free of cost, turn the notifications on, and I will see you guys on the next one. Adios, amigos.